Yo, what's good you guys? It's your boy Hypnos. Today I'm back again with another video. Today we're going to be discussing the RELL SEAS interviews and any recent topics about them. I'm going to be bringing up 5 things I think you guys should be paying attention to from these interviews, as well as one hidden thing that I think a lot of people have missed. I'm not going to talk about any of the excess stuff the RELL Bros mentioned. I'm mainly just going to focus on anything RELL SEAS related. Not that I don't respect the hard work they're putting into, but I'm just here to provide content for the people who care about the game, because that's what my whole channel is about. The first major takeaway from this video, or from the videos, should be the monetization model that the RELL Bros are going to have approaching RELL SEAS. Basically, we're going to be discussing how the RELL Bros want to make money off of their game. Now, they promised us themselves that this is not going to be a very predatory system. They said it's going to be player driven, and that a lot of the things you can get in the game, you can grind for them. You don't have to purchase, which I appreciate that a lot. Of course, at the end of the day, they still need to make their money. So, they're focusing on monetizing through customization. Things like ship designs, cosmetics, and possibly other aesthetic upgrades. However, the RELL Bros have assured players that core gameplay progression will remain accessible, meaning everything important should be attainable through grinding. If they stay true to this vision, RELL SEAS could strike a solid balance between profitability and fair gameplay, ensuring that dedicated players can earn their way forward while still offering optimal purchases for those who want to support the game or enhance their experience. Alright, the second thing you should take away from the RELL SEAS interview is going to be the gameplay mechanics and features. As I mentioned earlier, RELL SEAS won't be pay to win, which means that players won't have to spend money to get the meta race, abilities, or any kind of devil fruits. It'll be completely grindable throughout the game. One of the biggest gameplay elements, of course, is devil fruits. The RELL Bros have promised that while these will be powerful, they won't overshadow other combat styles. Everything is balanced to ensure that all skill sets and abilities remain viable. Interestingly, they also mentioned that the number of devil fruits available at launch has been reduced from 30 to 25, and it might decrease a bit more. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes less is more. This likely means each fruit will have a higher quality and polish, making them feel more unique and impactful rather than just being filler content. Beyond combat, RELL SEAS is introducing non-combat progression systems like fishing, woodcutting, and cooking, giving players more ways to engage with the world outside of just fighting. Of course, you guys already knew this likely. These mechanics add depth and variety, making the game feel more like a true open world experience rather than just a combat simulator. Boss battles will also play a huge role in shaping the game's world. They aren't just there for loot, they also help bring the world to life, making fights feel more immersive and rewarding. Whether you're grinding for progression, exploring different playstyles, or experiencing the adventure, RELL SEAS seems to have offering a well-rounded experience. Now, let's get into the third thing, hidden third feature that I think will either make or break RELL SEAS. It'll add layers of content without players really even noticing it, or they haven't noticed it so far. Now, what could I possibly be talking about? I'm talking about the feature in this game that will make it feel more alive, unpredictable, and honestly just adds a completely new layer that we haven't seen in any Roblox One Piece game so far, at least that I know of. So, what exactly am I referring to? Let's call it the Skyrim aspect of the game. To set expectations, the RELL Bros have been clear. RELL SEAS won't reach the level of depth seen in a title like Skyrim, because obviously it's AAA. However, the fact that they're even attempting to incorporate dynamic player interactions into a Roblox game is an ambitious and exciting direction. Additionally, the RELL Bros have mentioned the possibility of random boss encounters and hidden quests, adding an element of unpredictability to the game world. Picture yourself exploring an island with your crew, only for an unexpected high-level boss to appear, forcing you to react on the spot. These unscripted moments create genuine excitement and immersion, making the world feel more alive. Beyond combat, hidden quests and treasure discoveries will offer another layer of depth. The idea that some players might uncover content that other players completely miss adds a sense of individualism to progression, making each player's journey through the game unique. It isn't completely clear how this is going to apply in the game, but the RELL Bros did mention that it will likely be kind of a more organic interaction system with the NPCs. They're hoping to aim for players just walking up to NPCs, talking to them, and it kind of just leads to a quest, which feels a lot more natural and immersive than any of like GPO or Blox Fruits where you just go to the same guy over and over again. Now, I don't know if it's going to apply like this exactly, because this is a big task for the developers. This is like a lot of work to be putting in. But, if we're lucky, maybe that's how it'll play out. Now, why does this actually matter? Like, why should we care as players? Basically, to summarize it up, it's just going to add a lot of things for us players to do in the game and keeps it from being dry in the long run. It adds a level of interaction and makes us feel like we're actually involved in the world. It could reward us for exploration and going to do things, like some games like Arcane Odyssey, where you walk around or something, you can actually find chests and loot that's beneficial for you. If RELL SEAS implements that into a One Piece setting, it could look beautiful. You could be going on your ship, chasing down treasure, and you could find like a devil fruit. It just feels more fulfilling, and it adds just a lot more gameplay sense to us players, which is why I really think, or I hope, that the system does play out how they're somewhat promising it will. Of course, if it doesn't, no disrespect, because this is a very hard thing to add to a Roblox game. The fourth thing that you should take away from this video is obviously going to be the update schedule of RELL SEAS, basically how often content will come out after RELL SEAS releases. This will be crucial for players and YouTube creators like me alike, because we both will benefit from having more content being, like streamlined to us consistently. At first, I'm pretty sure the Robros mentioned that the release schedule will be kind of like Shindo Life, where, every week or every other week they're going to have a new update. Maybe just something small like a new devil fruit or new abilities, just something to keep the content fresh on top of the game already itself coming out. And then after a while, once the game's more structured and settled down, they're going to start getting into like, okay, let's start doing like once a month updates, bringing in more content, bigger updates, bigger, events into the game. So it'll probably just be like early Shindo Life, which I'm perfectly fine with because I did love early Shindo Life before it became Shindo Life itself, and it was still called Shinobi Life 2. As a YouTuber, this is huge. A frequent update schedule means a constant stream of content to cover, analyze, and make videos on top of everything I've already been working on when the game launches. And let's be real, this game is going to be a massive opportunity for similar creators to take off. I can already tell that a lot of us in the community are going to jump on this. I know I will for sure. One last thing worth mentioning. The Robros have already commissioned work for future content updates, meaning they've already planned way ahead to keep the game evolving. That level of preparation just shows how serious they are about making RELL SEAS a long-term success. Alright, this is the final thing you should take away from this video, and it's a big one. The fifth item on our list. One is RELL SEAS actually releasing. While there's no confirmed release date yet, the Robros have made it clear that they're not rushing it. The game will launch on PC, mobile, and console, ensuring accessibility across all major platforms. As for the release date, they've learned from past mistakes, like announcing Movie 2's release date and missing it, so this time, they're waiting till they're absolutely sure the game is ready. They've hinted that a release date might be revealed in Movie 3, but only if the game is truly polished. Right now, RELL SEAS is in the final development and testing phase, with internal testing already underway. However, they're still fine-tuning core systems to ensure they're the best possible experience at launch. While the wait might be frustrating, this approach guarantees that RELL SEAS will be a fully polished, optimized, and worth the hype when it finally drops. So, while we don't have a release date yet, one thing is certain: when it does launch, it's going to be huge.